Holy crap, 196,000. They need to nerf that, man. Yeah, that's gonna have to be fixed. You know, I can talk. You know, Dutch actually seems to talk to me. Maybe I don't know if he'll listen to me, but I could always ask him about it. I mean, just ask him if he's planning on nerfing, doing balance changes. No, because you don't even have that much. How much health do you have? How much health does your character have at level 60? So he's just one-shotting you. Well, I missed the part where you said you got 4K. So he's one-shotting you. You know, that was, you know, what was funny is when I first played Ascension a while, like, you know, back in 2019, the reason I quit playing it, the biggest reason, was of the imbalance, was of the class imbalances. You know, like, some classes were just so dramatically more powerful than others. And you know, and I don't mind a little bit of imbalance, but when it's like to that degree, it's stupid. Yeah, well, I see, like, you're in the screenshot you sent me, you're pretty much in line with, you know, with like the Shadow Priest, and then there's another Shaman, Bugly Wuggly, and then a Warrior, and then a Warlock, and then all of a sudden there's this guy, the Insta, who's just like doubling everybody's DPS. Look at the healing look at the healing that Warlock was doing, though. Look at the healing you were doing, dude. How did you do so much healing? You did. Is that like your pet healing? I think that's probably your pet healing. I hate how paladins do this. I mean, I hate how undead do this stupid flip. Like, I wish that they didn't do the flip. You know what I mean? I think it's been fat. Like, this whole flip animation, I've never really cared for that. It just doesn't. It's just not realistic. It looks silly. But I guess it's all part of the undead, huh? Yeah, it's not just fear. It's like, I mean, it is mostly fear, but the thing with paladins is one of the things that you run into as a paladin is you struggle against like priests and warlocks because they fear you and then they dot you up and it can be kind of a pain. But so with Will of the Forsaken, you can actually break out of fear, charm, and sleep. And I would assume charm would be. I'm hoping charm considers sheep a charm. So, but yeah, fear and one charm of course is a warlock's succubus pet, but I'm hoping charm is sheep, but it may not be. But fear, being able to break out of fear is pretty fucking strong because you're going to get feared by warlocks, you're going to get feared by shadow priests. So it's a pretty big. Because the only difference is like it's that versus, oh, do you want the blood? And plus, do you want the blood elf? Or do you want the blood elf? Silence. And I actually bought another another faction change. So if I don't so I'm playing the undead, but if I don't like it, I can always flip it. Actually, I can always do a race change. Actually, I didn't buy a race change. I don't think the race change is even that expensive. It's probably like $5 or something. I don't think it's that much. So if you go to convenience and then do character services, you can do a race change for it's like $8. Actually, it is. No, it is $5. It's $5. So it's cheap. So if I don't like the undead at some point, I'll just switch to blood elf. So. But I'll tell you one thing though, Valst, is the horde. I definitely think on the horde side you have better PvP players because when I was playing with Alliance, man, the stupidity I saw by the Alliance faction in Battlegrounds was pretty bad. It was like I was playing retail WoW. Everybody was just zerging from node to node. There was no semblance of trying to hold nodes. It was terrible. I mean, it was noticeably different. Like I'd played Horde, obviously, all the way up to level 44 or 43, and I didn't see that. Like it was like retail. Like when you go into retail WoW and you go into Wrathy Basin and all they do is the whole Alliance team gets together in one group and they just run to one node, get it, and then they just run to the next one, get it, and they just run in a circle. That's all they do, and they always lose, right? They don't hold any nodes. They just run in a circle. All they care about is just getting into team fights and winning. And I'm like, what are you doing? So yeah, I wasn't too keen on that. And but it was cool. The one thing that was really cool about being the night elf though was, man, the changes they made to the night elf starting area was really cool. Like they really added a lot of new content to the starting night elf zones. Like Dolinar was completely different. It was much bigger, but it was just cool. It was really cool. Well, it's yeah. Well, that's cool. I still plan on playing the hunter. The hunter's got too much professions and stuff to ignore entirely. I've got too much invested in the hunter. So I'll still play the hunter as melee, and I'll probably still suck at it. The problem with the melee hunter is it's okay. Like in a 1v1 scenario, it's like if I had to grade it on a scale of, if I had to do the tier list, I would give it like a mid, like a C, between a C and a B. Not quite a B rating, but like just under a B rating. So it's weak, is what I would classify it as weak. Now, if you play it right, if you play it skillfully, and you have to beat people by outplaying them, basically. So I have to outplay people. I can't just count on my build or spec being good. I have to outplay people. I have to surprise them and do things maybe they don't expect, or just use my ranged abilities quite a bit as well. Go in, get a trap on them, do some damage, disengage away, mitigate damage while I do some range damage, and then when when the trap drops and stuff, try to get back in and repeat, you know. And so it's kind of this cool play style, of course, but the damage is not really big. So, and I just know that what's going to happen. And it's like somebody who came into the stream yesterday. Remember, he said when you get to 60, he said you're just going to get deleted. He said every melee class will just delete you, which is kind of what's happening to you. But what I would do with the melee hunter is, and I don't know if you can do. I don't know if we have jewel crafting, right? I'm assuming we have jewel crafting on this server. Here, let's take a look. I'm assuming there's jewel crafting. I hope there's jewel crafting here. Oh, there's not. Okay, well that does put a damper on things, but there will be jewel crafting eventually, right? Because they do plan on moving this to the next expansion, I think, Burning Crusade. But when you get, so you might have to wait an entire expansion, but the melee hunter could be good in the next expansion. Because when you get to, what I would do is I would go jewel crafting blacksmithing, and I would get the extra slots on the belt and the extra slots on the bracers, and I would craft the biggest, most powerful resilience gems, and I would just stack a shit ton of resilience, and I would make the melee hunter incredibly tanky, like very tanky. And then just, you know, use your fire damage, which is going to go through armor anyway, right? And use your traps to do a lot of your damage, your traps and your sting to do a lot of damage. But even so, it's going to be a tough road, you know. It's going to be a tough road. What level am I? God, I'm only level 3? Shit.
What would you ask of death? I am forsaken.
What do you mean? He went from 1 to 100? What do you mean? Yeah, hey JR. Yeah, I know. Well, I knew everything changes once you get to max level. A lot of it's, I mean, you hope that most of it's just gear related. And like you get to max level, you know, and everybody has like really, really good gear and you don't, so you get deleted. But then once you get the same gear that they have, then it's back on the same playing field, you know. But it sounds like that might not be quite the case, you know. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've also, one thing I'll say about you, Vols, is you get on Hunter and you seem to be very hesitant to ever play to get off the Hunter. Like, remember when we were on Turtle Wow, you played Hunter even though the spec was really bad, and now you're playing Hunter now, where I don't want to say the spec's bad. In fact, according to this guy, the spec's actually quite good. And you have to keep in mind that like battlegrounds are different than arena. Like, it's very easy for, although, you know, the shaman being as powerful as, I don't know what's going on with that. That seems kind of like weird. But I think it's the enhancement shaman. So this guy in his tier list that he put together 12 days ago, he had enhancement shaman as like S tier, right? Like crazy. And then he had protection warrior and protection paladin as S tier, because he said protection warrior and protection paladin do a ton of damage and they're very, very difficult to kill. Then you go down to the S minus tier, and he's got Frost Mage, Subtlety Rogue, Arcane Mage, and he even had Rep Paladin. I like how it's in a wheelchair. Resto Druid, and all the healers, pretty much, most of the healers fall into the S minus. And then he actually had Beast Mastery, Hunter, and at the end of the S tier, because he said BM does really, really good damage. It doesn't have the huge burst of some of the other classes, but it can do really good damage. Like when you pop Bestial Wrath, it does it's pretty bursty, he said. It's not like massive burst, but it's pretty bursty. And that your damage is strong pretty much all the time. You have like consistent, you know, pressure. And then down the A tier, you know, we got Shadow, Elemental, Destro, Fire Mage, and then Marksman. But what's interesting is Survival. He had all the way down the C tier. He said there's about 10 different ways to build out Survival, but he said all of them are pretty lackluster. So when I saw that video, and this is a guy, yeah, the list, and this is a guy who he kind of prefaced the video by talking about his experience on lots of private servers, his experience in retail WoW as a 2400 rated PvP player. So he said, and he was very like, he wasn't arrogant at all. He was like, yeah, because I'm 2400 rated in this expansion, and some of them were as recent as Dragonflight. So he's done PvP as recent as Dragonflight, which is good because Dragonflight has a lot more. It's a faster paced combat. There's a lot of abilities you have to manage. So if you can get 2400 rated in a more modern version of WoW, then you're very good at managing a lot of different abilities that the different classes had. And so he prefaced that video by saying, hey, I don't know, which is kind of the same thing I've been saying. He's like, hey, I don't know all the enchants for all the classes in Ascension. He's like, I don't know them all. He goes, but I know a lot of them. And he goes, based on my experience, this is what I'm seeing. He goes, this is just kind of my estimation. He goes, it may not be 100% accurate, but he goes, I know a lot of the classes. I know a lot of what the classes, the enchantments can do. And he goes, this is what I'm seeing. And so when I looked at that list, I'm like, yeah, that looks, then like you said, he's spot on. And so, of course, when I'm looking at that list, I'm like, do I want to continue focusing on survival, on like Melee Hunter? Not really. I mean, I'll still play Melee Hunter, but it sounds like you were saying, it sounds like BM's by far the superior, like not even close, superior spec. But the one type of PvP playstyle I enjoy the most is playing somebody who's got a sword and a shield, who's very tanky, hard to kill, but does pretty good damage. And I've got that in spades here. Not only do I have Paladin that can do it, but Warrior can do it. And even Shaman could probably do it. Like Enhancement, you could probably put a shield on an Enhancement Shaman and do it. So, like, my favorite type of PvP playstyle, this could be the best server for that I've ever seen. You know what I mean? This could be the best server I've ever seen that does a PvP playstyle that's kind of in line with how I like to play PvP. So every BM hunter is using Barbershot now? Oh, that's funny. But they weren't originally, right? So I figure we'll try the Paladin. You guys know I'm a huge, huge fan of Paladins. And I thought about doing human, but I really didn't want to do human Paladin because I've done human Paladin so much. So my choice was either Blood Elf or Undead. And I just think that the Undead racial is stronger in PvP than the Blood Elf racial. In fact, I know it is. Getting off of silence isn't going to be. I mean, there's other ways we can silence people with a Paladin. We can stun them with Hodge or whatever, but we can't really break fear without getting the racial. So being able to break a fear is going to be big because warlocks are constantly going to be trying to fear us. And I thought it'd be cool see what a paladin kind of looks like, as an undead. Like I said, I don't like the jump attack. That kind of annoys me, but what can you do, Is this 20? Embrace the shadow. All right, so that one, we got the rattle cages and the spitters. Oh, and then we got this one up here. Let's go ahead and do this one. Yeah, for you got Bestial Wrath, yep. Oh, has it, JR? Yeah, I don't play retail a lot on Hunter, so I don't know. Well, I think once you got into level 60 bracket, maybe, right? Because before the level 60, maybe people weren't using it. And then once you get to 60, people have maybe figured out that's the best spec. I don't know. All right, we finally have Judgment of Light, Devotion, and Blessing, right? So let's go. I don't think I was using control. Actually, I was. It was over here somewhere. there, and then we also probably are going to need to, yeah. Okay. Hmm. Why is this sitting here on the screen? Let me reload the UI. Something seems off here. Yeah, it's like there's like 90% of the player base that's falling into, like, you know what I mean, that's in the bottom to the where you are, and then there's like this 10% that's just sitting like way, way up at the top, Do I have a... Mm, why is... I can't figure out what this sitting in the little screen. Pally is the most played class on Turtle, and it's alliance locked. Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Paladin's probably one of the most played classes on this server. I would say Shaman's probably the most played class. I see a lot of Shamans. I see a lot of Paladins and Shamans on Bronzebeard, like a lot. I can't figure out what this is right here. Why it's sitting in the middle of my screen. Oh, wait a minute. I know what it is. I'm such an idiot. It's Bartender. Bartender has its own stance bar thing. Forgot about that. So we can actually go in here and just scale this down quite a bit. Always forget that bartender kind of has its own there.
What is it?
Damn. Was quite the knockback there. Mm. How do I do? Shit, new aura. Oh, it won't let me move the whole thing. Oh well.
I'm listening. What is it?
Hello?
What is it? Be quick about your business. Is it better than good?
Hmm. No, I'm just kind of annoyed that leveling to 10 takes so long in the undead area. It's a lot worse than the night. I think it's a lot worse than the night elf area.
I heard
Mm-hmm. What do you mean level capped is in like you can't do you can't get better? Oh, you hate the fact that there's no more leveling? Oh. See, if I start feeling like that, I just play a different character. I level up a different character, dude. Just go roll something different. I like that too. I prefer games like Black Desert Online where there is no level cap. There's a soft level cap, but there's not a hard level cap. I mean, you can theoretically just level forever, which I love. Hey TK, what's up, man? Yeah, D&D's the same way, yeah. Yes, I am an Undead Paladin, yeah, that is correct. You playing Dead Shadow Freeze? Cool. Yeah. It's not necessarily an alcoholic itch. For me, just looking at the melee hunter, I pretty much realized what you already know, and that at level 60, if you can't beat him, join him. Plus, again, like I talked about at the beginning of the stream, my favorite style of PvP is a tanky sword and shield wielding character. So the fact that a tanky sword and shield wielding character is this S plus tier and on the server, it's just no brainer, man. I should be playing Paladin. No brainer. Yeah, I don't really like to play alts. Like, to be honest, like the only reason I did it in WoW a lot recently is because I played WoW so much that if I play regular like classic like vanilla WoW, I get bored just because I've done it. It's like been there, done that. It's like I've done this so many times, I get bored of it. But that's the one nice thing about this server is that it's so different. You don't really get bored because I mean the talent trees and the enchant system and stuff add a lot of flexibility, so it's hard to really get bored because you're just like constantly trying to figure stuff out. Hmm.
What do you require? And you are.
Do prestige. Yeah, and yeah, do that. You get prestige. How does that work? I've done prestige before, but I've never. It's been a long. Like when I did it before, it was on a server where you had experience potions and stuff, so it was a little, you know, you leveled like you basically could go level 0 to 60 in like almost a day. It was that fast. Well, how do you keep your gear though? Because your gear is like the gear you're wearing is for like level 60 characters, right? So how could you like? Are you saying you keep your gear and you just can't equip it? Like you just have to throw it in your bank or something? Okay, so you keep your gear, but you just have to like put it in the bank or something. Yeah, you should do that, dude. Go ahead and do it, man. Dude, go ahead and do it. Yeah, people get heirloom. Yeah, people get heirlooms and they prestige with the heirlooms. There's different things you get for.
Problem with these horde characters
Yeah.
Sophistication.
You know, once you're dead, nothing smells bad anymore. Rotten eggs, no problem. Dead fish, like a spring breeze. Join the slaughter.
So I was in line at the bat handler yesterday with some undead guy in front of me, and all of a sudden he just lets one go. Didn't even try to disguise it.
I like Alliance better than Horde,
Not agree with
but just for PvP purposes, I went with the Undead Paladin because I feel like the racials are a little better. I could have gone Human Paladin, but the HD models for Human don't look very good, and I think the HD models for Undead look a lot better than the HD models for Human, so that played a part in it as well. And just, I kind of was enjoying doing the Horde, to be honest, which is a rare thing for me to say, but I was enjoying the different zones, you know. But I enjoyed the Night Elf zone too. The Night Elf zone was really cool. They added all kinds of new custom content, which was really good. I really liked the new Night Elf starting area. It was really good. Damn. I almost bit the dust there. Hey, Purdy, what's up? Yeah, and the thing that's really cool here, JR, is I can level as an undead, and it's only $5 to change. Actually, I think it's $15 to race. Oh, I think I did the maid already. I think I did. Yeah, this is the undead paladin. Like, to switch from like undead to like a blood elf is $5, and I think to switch from, let's see, so it's it would be $10. So it's $10 if I want to change to like a night elf, right? And it's like, yeah, I just killed the mate, and it's like $5 if I want to just change to a different race, you know. So it's, you know, so we'll play the undead. If we don't, yeah, if we don't like it, we can always switch to something else. You're on Malfurion. You know, here's the funny thing. I took my character in a fit of rage, and let's be honest, it was a fit of rage. Like, I was so pissed off the other day. I've been having a bad month anyway, because my stepmom's being sick and all that. But so I've been under a lot of stress. But so I was really not wanting to deal with all the lag, right? And there was so much lag, and I was just so upset about all the lag. And on Melee Hunter, it's really hard because you have to drop traps and you have to do certain abilities, and it takes a lot of, like, you don't have a lot of time. Like for example, if I tell my pet to web somebody and root them in place, I've only got about a second, or maybe 2 seconds to get my trap down on them before the web disappears. And if there's any latency whatsoever, I miss that opportunity. And if I don't get my trap down, like, that reduces my effectiveness of getting a kill by like 60% at least. So it was so frustrating to try to play a melee hunter if there's that kind of latency. So I got so pissed off that I just said screw it, and I transferred my melee hunter to Malfurion, right? So I transferred my melee hunter to Malfurion. Yeah, you can do like really weird stuff. Like I currently I've got equipped currently I have a mace and a shield, but you can transmog it to look like pretty much whatever you want. I mean, I can transmog it so that it looks like I have a two-handed weapon. Like I can make it look like I'm carrying a two-handed sword, even though I don't. Right? So Jared, so let me finish my story. So I went to Malfurion, and this is Bronzebeard. Right? This is Bronzebeard. I went to Malfurion, and initially I thought this is pretty cool. You know, I go, this is pretty cool. Like Malfurion, like the latency wasn't there. I wasn't getting as much latency. But then when it got late at night, thanks, Birdie. Yeah, I'm using the reshade. But then when it got late at night, and I tried to queue for Battlegrounds, not only did the Battleground pops take longer to pop, but when I got in them, just the amount of people that were queuing for the Battlegrounds was much less than what I would have seen on Bronzebeard. And then also, I knew Valstay wasn't going to switch from this server to Malfurion, and I kind of wanted to play with him. So I regretted switching to Malfurion. And so what did I do? I created a new character and said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to level up 100 from level 1 again. I didn't want to, but, what options did I have? And so I messaged Dutch, Dutch, the main head honcho behind these servers, right? And I told Dutch, I said, I kind of switched from Bronzebeard to Malfurion. I said, I kind of screwed up. I said, I'm regretting my decision. And I said, I didn't realize that the transfers were only available from Bronzebeard to Malfurion, which makes sense. It makes perfect sense that's the case, but I didn't look to verify that. So I actually was hoping that, and I actually thought that if I transferred to Malfurion, I could probably just transfer back. Stupidly, I thought that. But you can't. There is no option to transfer from Malfurion to Bronzebeard. So, and Dutch responded to my message. And I talked to him for a little bit, and he transferred my character back free of charge for me. So, and don't tell anybody that. This is just for you guys in the stream. Don't you guys go messaging Dutch to ask him to transfer you back because he did it for me. Don't do that. So, yeah, please don't do that, or I will call you guys out. But yeah, Dutch actually transferred my character back for me because he's a good guy. The guy's a good guy. So my melee hunter is back here on this server. Yeah. Dutch is cool. I talked to Dutch a couple times. Like, he responded to some of my things before. Like some questions and stuff. So I've always been really impressed with how nice he is. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. He's a nice guy. He seems to be a real nice guy. But yeah, so if I log out, so basically what you're going to see on this server, I have my melee hunter. He's like, oh, but I did transfer my melee hunter to I did do a faction change. So let me show you really quickly. Actually, let me show you I did do a faction change though. And one thing I learned about the faction is that the alliance on this server is way worse at playing PvP than the Horde. Like the way they approach PvP is really bad. Like I did a bunch of Battlegrounds on the Alliance side, and I was really disappointed with the Alliance players and how they were doing Battlegrounds. Okay, so this is my Undead Paladin, right? And so I've got, but you never know. It could be just like I had some really bad groups, but this is my hunter who used to be called Shady, but when I transferred her, and actually I screwed up. I never thought I'd be coming back really. So I should have, like, when I transferred, I should have immediately created another character on this server with the name Shady, so that when he tried to move me back, I could have. I don't know. It probably would have been a pain in the ass, or I could have used that name for somebody else. But whatever. So anyway, so this hunter went to Malfurion, then came back, and then when I brought her back, I turned her into a Night Elf because I wanted to try playing Night Elf. And then this is the one I created because I thought I was going to have to level from scratch all over again on the server. So this one's in Stormwind, but let me show you. I think I've got the hard side. I want to show you guys Dolinar. Well, yeah, the crash is. I want to show you guys Dolinar. I think I'm a Dolinar yet. Check out. But look how dead. This is not Malfurion. This is actually Bronzebeard. Wow, I can't believe there's so few people in Stormwind. But I wanted to show you, this is Dolinar on Bronzebeard. But look how different it is than regular, like, Dolinar. I mean, it's completely different. And it's actually really cool. So they did kind of what Volstate was talking about. You've got like a town, you've got like a town square, which is this is the way you should lay it out, right? You've got like a little fountain here in the middle. You've got like kind of a town square, different buildings, right? Yeah, this is Dolinar. And there's like some really cool elevation that they've added with some really neat trees, like some of the design with the trees. You can see here like this little tree, and you have these cool little lights. And then they've added these little streams, which are just here. Let's turn up the ambience. And look at this little path around the building with this little beautiful little stream here. And yeah, it's just so nice. It's really cool. And then they've got another area in the starter area here in Shadow Glen that goes up into this area here, which is really cool. This area here, you go up in this big loop, like you climb up this hill, and it kind of circles around, and then you go into this building, and there's about 4 or 5 quests you do up here. But just the design of this area is really, really good, and it has this kind of eerie feeling to it. And there's this NPC there that's so crazy looking, and I sent a picture to Volstay. Let's see. So this is what that area looks like. Like when you come up the hill, you walk into this area and it looks like this. And then you talk to this NPC who's kind of like this, gone down this dark path, and check out this crazy looking NPC, you know? she's got wings and shit, and she looks like a mummified night elf with like wings. But very cool. Very, very cool. So anyways, yeah, I really like what they did with Dolinar and with the starting Night Elf area. You know, they've added these cool little shrines and stuff. But they added a lot of water around Dolinar, like little streams. See, there's a little bridge that takes you into Dolinar. But it's just, you can tell there was a lot of thought in it, you know, the water here, and there's little, you know, people fishing here, and there's somebody just chilling. So, yeah, it's just cool. It's a very cool looking area. Oh yeah, and I have both. That's the funny part is I'll be really negative, and then 2 seconds later be really positive. So I always tell it like it is, but I like it, you know. Yeah, it's like a carrion druid. Yeah, the druids of the vulture. That's what it looked like, a vulture. That's what he said too. What else he said? In Valley of Trials. Yeah, I haven't been in Valley of Trials yet, because most the characters I created were the Blood Elf and the Undead, and they both start in that kind of Undead starting area, which is interesting that they both start in the same area. The other thing that I thought was cool is the Halloween decorations. There was a Halloween decoration over here that maybe this has been in retail WoW, but it didn't feel like maybe it was. I thought it was kind of a neat little touch. I have a really bad headache. You can see that you got the hanging ghost. I think that was in retail WoW anyway, but like when you go in here, there's a skeleton on the bookcase. I thought that was kind of cool. I liked the Halloween decoration here, the little skeleton tacked here. I thought that was a cool little Halloween touch. Yeah. But yeah, it feels like the Night Elf area feels a lot more massive. Like the trees are so much more involved. I mean, look, there's like a Night Elf character in the wood here, but the trees are just much bigger. I mean, look at the scale of everything feels much more massive. I mean, look at these trees in the background. Just look how huge they are. Just look above you. You know, look at and I think that's one of the things I really liked about it. Anyway, so I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. And you notice since I'm playing the Undead Paladin, I've switched out my skin. I went from the kind of vines and elf skin around my action bar down here to the undead skin, which has the little candles and the skulls. Yeah, I'm a little surprised they don't do that. So I've got the priest, you got this hunter, and then we got the paladin. Yeah, I'm surprised. I was really surprised they weren't when I first thought about transferring to Malfurion. I just assumed that they probably were linked. but they're not, so. I have a headache, so I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit. Where'd my pet go? He like disappeared for some reason. That was, oh, maybe when I jumped off, I lost him. Might have lost him when I jumped off the roof. How do I get to be a BE Paladin on Alliance? Yeah, I wish. That's kind of what I would like. I would like to have been a Blood Elf Paladin on the Alliance side. That would have been cool. Let's see, 3.5. Ooh, the cloak. Oh, interesting.
What would you ask of death? Watch your back.
Oh, it's a dagger. My hunter's like 43. I like getting like 43 or 44, maybe 4. I can't remember. 44 actually. She's 44. Mostly. I do some quests, but mostly, like I usually do BGs, and when I'm doing BGs, I just since I'm high risk mode, what I'll do is I'll just kill mobs because I get tons and tons of like blue drops and stuff. And yes, so yeah, I'm either doing BGs or just grinding mobs. Oh, this one's not high risk. Yeah, you can't be high risk until you level 15. But yeah, my other hunter's high risk. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't typically like to PvP a ton while I'm leveling, but the high risk makes it too good not to do it. Like the benefits are too good, you know. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh. Thank you. Thanks, Jared. Um, I mean, I might play River. I mean, I'll play River Song again. I'm sure I'll play River Song again at some point. I still wanna. I still wanna, get to 60. You know. I'm sure I'll still play River Song, so cause it's Hunter. I love Hunters, so and it's a melee hunter. I love melee hunters, so I'm sure we'll still dabble with a character. What is this? Oh, need the night ones. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to do something like see if I could do like a hybrid. I think that's a good idea actually, JR. Because I think I don't know. I mean, Valstay knows the BM hunter really well. The problem is to make melee work. The problem with the way the enchants work in this game is that there's only a couple slots, and they drastically change the way your character plays. So now if you go in here and you change out this legendary one and this whatever this one's called, artifact one, these two, like, it dramatically changes how your character plays. So trying to get one to play as a melee hunter while still be good for BM, I mean, you kind of have to decide what's the primary focus of your character. And I think for me, it would be primary focus would be melee, and then just try to sprinkle in some of the BM abilities. And the BM abilities, the best way to probably to sprinkle those in would be to use the enchant system and put them in these outer rings, these blue ones, because you can grab stuff like, like if you want to grab like more pet damage or something, or more pet crit or something like that, you could certainly do that. Yeah, so just glyph the BM stuff, Hey George, I don't really have a link. I mean, I can just show you what they are. You know what I mean? No, I didn't. Actually, I bought another war chest. I actually purchased another war chest, which gave me, which gave me 4 more of the 36 slot. Are they 36? 30 slots, 30 slot bags. They're not the 36. 36 are the biggest ones, which are so expensive, right? Like they're like 50 DP for one 36 slot bag, which is like insane, right? Although if you buy the 200 DP war chest, I think you get one of those, and then you get like 7. You get like 7 30 slot bags and one 36 slot bag. You know? Yeah, definitely. It's still cheaper than Turtle. And if you're trying to get bag space, the best way to go is to buy the war chest. So I bought the war chest because I thought I was going to have to level my melee hunter from level 1 again. And the cool thing about these bags is they're realm bound. So even though I put them on my level 1 hunter, she was using them. When I decided I wanted to play the paladin, mostly because melee hunters just aren't going to be very good at level 60 PvP. And paladins, you guys know I love paladins. I mean, paladin's probably my favorite class. Paladin and hunter are my 2 favorite classes. So the cool thing is, once I knew I was going to level the paladin, I was able to just take these bags and just mail them from my level 1 hunter to this character. So actually, we can go. We can get a mount. What did I miss? Oh, I still need 1 more. Damn. Glad I looked. Thought I got them all. What am I missing? Oh, I just need the night ones. Okay. Yeah, the war chests are a much better purchase. Like if you're looking for bags, like that's the best purchase. Like just go ahead and buy the war chest for 100 DP. I mean, that's like $33. But then you'll get 4 of these 30 slot bags. Plus you get a bunch of other stuff that comes with it. But George, hey George, I can show you the add-on list. Let's see. This is what I'm using for the add-ons. I got Auctionator. Actually, let's get rid of. We don't need Magnify or World Map. We're gonna disable those. I'm using Bartender 4. I'm using QE nameplates for my target nameplates. I'm using mixed scrolling battle text as my combat scrolling combat text. Move anything. This allows me to move elements around the screen where I want them. Omni CC just shows cooldown numbers. Opie is my Skyrim ring style circle menu that I can bring up by hitting keybinds. Postals, PF Quest, just the quest add-on. Postals for email system, for mail. Recount damage, snowfall key press. Just make sure that when I press a button, it actuates on the down press as opposed to having to wait for me to release the key for the skill to trigger. So it's going to be much faster getting my skills out. TomTom was just so I could add like coordinates to my main map. So, and then WeakOrs is just WeakOrs adding different triggers and stuff, like how yeah, you get 2 extra specs, the bank tabs, full transmog. Yeah, you get a bunch of stuff. Yeah, you get the full transmog set. You get an extra bank tab for you get the personal bank. You get an extra tab for your personal bank, and you get a bunch of and you get the bags. It's a bunch of stuff. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth the price. Zombie skin leggings. Patience and discipline. Do you like that one? Hey, what's up? I'll tell you what happened to the Hunter. I mean, I like the Hunter, but, you know, Volstay here got to level 60, and he got to do Battlegrounds at level 60, and Melee Hunter is going to be terrible. And let's just put it this way. In PvP Battlegrounds at 60, it's going to be awful. It's going to be straight up awful. Couple different things, you know, let's see. Like, here's a battleground that Volstay posted me. This is a level 60 battleground. There's shamans in there, like this guy, doing 196,000 damage. He was going around critting people for 13,000. Like, Volstay's Hunter here has 4k health. This shaman was critting for 13k. My Melee Hunter is just going to get... And actually, there was someone in the stream yesterday that said at level 60, my Melee Hunter will just get deleted by Melee classes. Like, I have no chance against Melee. And I was starting to see that even at the level 40 to 50 group. I was starting to see that as classes were starting to get their full toolkit, I was struggling staying alive against these classes, and I knew it was only going to get worse. So, and also the other thing that made me decide to stop playing the Melee for now is that I watched this video here, which is the PvP tier list on Ascension Bronzebeard. And you can see in the S tier we have Enhancement Shaman, which we already knew, because Enhancement Shamans have been crushing me ever since like level 20, right? Enhancement Shaman. Elemental Shaman's down here in A tier. That's not an Elemental Shaman, I don't think. That's an Enhancement Shaman, right? It was a giant ball of lava. That's Elemental, actually. I think that's Elemental. That's Lava Blast, right? We can't, but you can have Lava Blast on an Enhancement Shaman. But the point is, in the S tier, Protection Warrior, and Protection Paladin are really, really tanky, and they do a ton of damage. They're really, really good. And my favorite playstyle for PvP has always been to play a character who's got a sword and a shield, who's a sword and board character, who can take a lot of damage and doesn't have to do like the best damage, because that would be overpowered if they could take a lot of damage and they were like top tier on damage. That would be overpowered. But as long as they could take a lot of damage, and as long as they could do a pretty good amount of damage, that's my favorite style of play. I always call that like a disruptor style of play. So because, yeah. Actually, the tier list is pretty, from what Valis is saying, and he's played level 60 BGs, he says it's pretty accurate. Yeah. He says it's pretty accurate. And the problem, the guy in this video, when he's talking about Affliction, the reason he's got Affliction down here is he says that the problem with Affliction right now is that the dots take too long to do damage. So most people, if they get the dots on, they're just going to do stuff to mitigate them. Like, they're going to throw up their trinket bubble, or they're going to cleanse them, or they're going to heal. You know, the damage isn't coming fast enough. Yeah, Prot Warrior. Prot Warrior has this stance called Gladiator Stance that when they put Gladiator Stance on, they're like almost unkillable. And yet they still do good damage. So yeah, it's no joke. This tier list is no joke. It's pretty accurate. Yeah. So, and you can see here he's got the Survival Hunter down in the C tier. So, you know, I like the Melee Hunter. I think it's really cool. Oh, the Destro does. I think he talked about the Destro. I don't remember exactly what he said, but just check it here. I'll put the link in the stream. Yeah, watch the video. The guy who did the video, I think I liked the way he presented it and just his like preface, like how he prefaced his experience in PvP over the years. You could tell the guy's definitely played a lot of PvP. He's got a good experience in retail WoW as well as private servers. So check it out. Yeah, go watch the video. It's pretty good. What do you got in here? Stash goods, a padded vest. Hmm. Yeah. Well, also keep in mind that video was, I think, 12 days ago. Oh, do you play for that video was like 12 days ago, so it could be that, you know, I think he was basing that off of the test servers, you know, before the release. So things could have changed. Who knows? I don't know, but yeah, I still think it looks pretty accurate. That's right. Yeah. Well, look at me. I'm playing Melee Hunter. Like, and it's crazy. Here, let's do a. I like the Melee Hunter though. I mean, the Melee Hunter is really fun, but it's really, yeah, but it's really difficult. You know, it's not easy, right? So here, let's do a. Yeah, from what I hear, Melee's good in PvE. It's so weird that I can't quite queue in what is. I mean, I'm actually in resting, and it won't let me queue here, which is really interesting. So let me. But I know where I can queue. Lag spike. It does that lag spike a lot when I'm mounting up for some reason. I don't know why. I just wanted to show you how difficult it is for me in a battleground to actually execute my rotations. It's actually really, really difficult. Yeah, the rat. Yeah, you can buy it for DP, yeah. Yeah, Priest is, for everything I've heard about Priest, is that they're actually really good. I've heard Priests are really good. I know Shadow Priests are pretty decent. I find it really hilarious that specs that are really, really bad in retail WoW from PvP are really, really amazingly good in private servers. And I think it just goes to show you that, and I've always talked about how tanks should be viable. I think every spec should be viable in PvP, whether it's a tank, a healer, or a DPS. All specs should be viable. And there's plenty of MMOs out there where tanks are very viable. You look at Elder Scrolls Online, you look at like you know, Black Desert, Ion. There's lots of MMOs that have tanky, viable specs. But Blizzard, for some reason, in retail, have always shit on tanks in PvP. Like, they're just basically like completely worthless generally. 80% of your BG runs, everyone is a healer. That's funny. I haven't really run into that. But you can see the way I'm spec. Look how much health I have. I'm only level 44. I have 3,860 health. This hunter has 3,100. This paladin has 3,500. I have more health than this paladin, who's level 46. I have more health than this hunter, who's level 47. So I am spec'd into a very high health, melee hunter. I mean, that's by design, right? And I have a talent that actually increases my attack power and my pet's attack power based off of a percentage of my stamina. I think it's like 30%. Like 30% of my stamina is converted into melee attack power for my pet and myself. So. But I love the melee. I mean, the melee hunter is super fun, and it is fun because it is so difficult. It's very challenging, Here, watch this. We're gonna root him. Ooh, he got out of range. Where is the flag? Oh, he grabbed it and I wasn't looking. We got a shaman. We're gonna want to try to take out the shaman first. Okay, well, he was already getting his butt whooped, so I didn't really have to do anything. Yeah, it looks like the Alliance is actually playing well. They're actually using some tactics while staying. Trying to grab nodes instead of just like zerging one node. They're like getting the flag. They're actually playing this one fairly smartly. Yeah. Alright, so let's take out this hunter, right? We're gonna root him. We're gonna have to blow my trinket because I got stunned. Now I'm stunned again. Now I'm actually in trouble. So we're gonna shadow meld. Yeah, so we're kind of fucked right here. Yeah, I'm totally screwed. I'm totally screwed. So that right there shows you one of the problems of the melee hunter, though. If you get rooted or if you get like CC'd or trained, you're screwed. Like me versus like a feral druid, if he's like in bear form, it's gonna take me a long time to kill him. And the hunters back there just teeing off on me. And that's one of the problems with the melee hunter, is you can be kind of trained very easily. Well, I'm back. I'm back, right? Trying to target this guy and I can't. There we go. Now we got him targeted. I need that. I got to go back to the Night Elf starting area and see if I can get that spider trinket. Remember the World Forged one? I don't remember where I got it. I don't know if I got it as a drop off the spiders. I don't remember how I got it, so we'll have to figure it out. So here's this Night Elf Druid. Well, he fucking stealth. No. He's BM Hunter. And you can see he was like top middle of the pack. Like he was around 68,000, 70,000 damage. Yeah, he loves his BM, right? Oh, we can't eat in Shadow Meld, unfortunately. Yeah, Vol stays the BM. Yeah, that's him. Here's a 48 human warrior, right? But he's like running from me. Kind of sucked. All these fucking totems, dude. Like so many totems, man. It's sometimes like it's really difficult to like you can't really tab target. Like earlier, I was trying to fight that shaman. I was trying to tab target, and it was just like it doesn't work. I had to hit the tab key like 5 times before it targeted the actual shaman. I mean, targeting. I hate that targeting doesn't prioritize characters over totems, but yeah, tab targeting is really bad. And look, here's the lovely latency. Some people, like you can see, are struggling with latency. So. Yeah, so I haven't really done much since Battleground. I've been pretty not really much of a factor, to be honest. There's a warrior. Ah. The other thing, you always run into a problem against mages because they root you. Like you would need. I mean, eventually, eventually you're going to get roar of. You're going to get the pet that allows you to cleanse. That gives you basically like Hand of Freedom. So you want to make sure you have the pet that's going to give you like the Hand of Freedom, which I don't think this one does. Actually, here protects friendly targets from critical strikes, and there's this bullheaded, but this like removes all movement impairing effects and all effects which cause loss of control of your pet. So this is your pet. So this pet doesn't have the Hand of Freedom. The ferocity pet I think does. This is a cunning pet. So, but anyways, but I like playing the melee hunter. It's really fun. It's just, and again, one of the reasons it is so fun is because it is so difficult. Like when you go up into fights, like it's very difficult to, because like you get trained so easily. Like I think if they wanted to make melee hunter more viable, you would have to have some sort of way to allow melee hunters to get almost like a Hand of Freedom, some sort of way to break roots, because roots really kill you. Because your damage, I mean, you can do damage at range, like you can still do damage at range, and it's decent damage. It's not bad, but I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of playing melee if you're just standing there rooted shooting arrows, But I do love playing the melee. It is just a lot of fun. Biff. Bada bing, bada boom. It's funny, like, after I killed that mob, my first thought I was approaching this hill was to spin my camera this way and do a disengage to jump down the hill because I'm so used to playing melee hunter. I was just like, okay, time to disengage. Look at the damage though. Paladin hits hard even at this level. The worst starting zone in WoW? Orc. Orc Troll. I think Orc is to me Orc Troll is the worst. I can't stand the Orc starting zone. Oh, not this nonsense. I watch they're gonna appear again once I get far enough away. Maybe not. Oh, there they are. And there they go. You gonna tell me the Night Elf zone's the worst? No, I don't. I don't think. I think the troll, the Orc Troll, is like way worse than the Night Elf one, in my opinion. Yes, I will hate you for that. I would say that I prefer the Night Elf starting zone over the human starting zone. I also prefer it over the. I also prefer it over the Orc and the Troll. Yeah. Of lame purple trees. Ooh, we got a possibly a new Scarlet Shield here we can get. Look at this. Almost once we get out of combat. Where'd it go? The Shield of Fading Light. Nice. I think 36 armor is better than 8 armor. Yeah, I like Teldrassil. I think Teldrassil is probably my favorite in the Night Elf area. I like the music. I like forests. To me, like the most fantasy element in the most fantasy biome is a forest. I mean, how many fantasy books? I'm a big fantasy fan. You read books like the Sword of Shannara or Lord of the Rings, or there's so many books. The Sword and the Chain. Whatever. Most of those books have a lot of settings in forests. Because forests are cool. Even in like Dungeons and Dragons, when you like go out into the world, right? You go out into the world, and the coolest adventures in Dungeons and Dragons are when you go off into some dark woodlands in the night, and you're like getting attacked by random, some random, encounter, right? So. Let's see. Haven't collected this appearance. You've collected that appearance. I'm just grabbing stuff based on if I've collected their appearance or not. Yeah, we need to do some D&D. I love Dungeons and Dragons. All right, so we need to get this done, and then Scarlet Crusade documents, and I think we're pretty much done with this zone. I've got a really bad headache, guys. That's why I probably sound a little bit off right now. It's because I'm struggling with the really bad headache. Not really sure why. Yeah. I DM'd a little bit back in the day, but there was one guy, I still remember his name, Mick Dobra. Not Mick Dobra, Mitch. What was his? I can't remember his last name. He was a really, really good DM. We used to go to his house, and he would DM, and he had a big boa constructor. Like, how cool is it that you're sitting in this room playing Dungeons and Dragons, and there's literally this, like, 10-foot boa constrictor slithering around the room, Did you? Nice. Sweet. So this must have been fairly recent then, because streaming something like that on Twitch wouldn't, within the past 10 years. So before, probably 15 years ago then. Yeah, Matt Mercer. You don't like? See, you said you didn't like Matt Mercer. I actually like Matt Mercer. I mean, I don't have anything against him. What didn't you like about Matt Mercer? I've never really watched his DM campaigns that much. I never watched Critical. Was it Critical Role?
What is it?
Shield. You have not collected this appearance.
Trust no one.
Okay, ready to go to Brill just about. I'm still not going to give up on the Melee Hunter. I do really like the Melee Hunter, but man, it is just. I just know that at 60, I'm gonna get annihilated. I feel like at 60, I'm probably just gonna get annihilated. I probably would set up the Melee Hunter. I don't know. Is it scripted? Yeah, I've been using some of them, but I'm using enchants that are specific to the Melee Hunter, but they're just not. The problem is they're in the wrong locations, like. Yeah, but did they say it was viable in PvP? Viable in PvE, yes. Viable in PvP, I'm not sure. I can't believe D&D's got. Well, fuck that. Right? If I played D&D, I'd be pulling out my old books, dude. We're gonna be doing like D&D version. What is it, like 3? Like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Pull out my old books, we ain't doing anything modern shit. Modern D&D is a joke. I've got the basic. You got the basic white box. I have the basic pink box. I don't know what the difference is. I've got the basic set, the pink box. This one. This is the one I have at home. The one I have. I think we should get together and play Stormbringer, dude. I think you'd like Stormbringer, the Michael Moorcock, based tabletop game. Oh, white box fantasy. Oh, that's a different game. Okay. That's like a different game, though. What is that? What is White Box though? Is that just like, it's just like a different game, right?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So it's like, so basically someone kind of re-released. So someone released the White Box. Basically, they re-released it, and it's in like these sets, right? Yeah, that would be probably what I probably would enjoy that. I probably would enjoy that version, Fall Stay. That would be cool, I think, you know. All right, so I think we're done, right? We're pretty much done here. We just need to get the Paladin to level 10 because then we can do Battlegrounds. But it's already 2 in the morning. Kind of bummed I didn't level this character today. Instead of leveling that Hunter from 1 to like 7 or 1 to 8. I could have leveled this one up. Yeah, wasn't it the original Gygax game? What was it called? What was it called? Chain and something? What was the original Gygax one? The box included 3 small brown booklets: Men and Magic, Monsters and Treasure, Underworld and Wilderness Adventures. The White Box is the first commercial release of what would become Dungeons & Dragons, the foundation for all later versions. Chainmail, that's the one I was thinking. The first one that really started all was Chainmail. Modern White Box references: Swords and Wizardry White Box Edition. Delving Deeper. Okay, so I have this one, which is in the 1980. I get $600 for this one. Jeez. So I have the 1980 version. Get that $900 for that one. It's crazy. Well, yeah, and that's what MMOs came from, right? MMOs evolved from, you know.
I am forsaken. Farewell.
What is Moldvay? That's the author? Yeah. When it's the math that should be used, yeah. Well, send me a link of the one I need to purchase. Valse, send me a link of the the one I need to buy. That's basically the best white box version that includes everything. Maybe that's the one you already sent me. Cleric, fighter, fighter, thief. Both those I like. Is that new or is that new or used? 2017. It's new. That's cheap. It's so cheap, dude. How many pages is it? It's what you used to build camping with as a template. Cool. Elves and dwarves are a class. That's funny.
What is it?
My favorite Lord of the Rings character? My favorite character from the books? Oof. Yeah, that's a tough question. Um, I mean, my answer is probably pretty stupid, though. I would. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, I always liked. Although this is not. Well, I guess this isn't a good answer because he doesn't really play much of a role in Lord of the Rings. I never. Well, I never. Theoden was kind of okay. I liked Boromir more than Theoden. You know, I liked Boromir more than Theoden, but Theoden was cool. There were a lot of smaller roles in Lord of the Rings, and I haven't read Lord of the Rings in a while. But there were a lot of smaller parts that were really good. You know what I mean?
Speak quickly. Beware the living.
What is it? I am forsaken. Embrace the shadow. Beware our enemies burn.
My flames die, left not a spark. I shall send you myself to the lifeless dark.
What did they give me? Did they give me a pet amount?
So eager you are for my blood to spill, yet to vanquish me, 'tis my head. What would you ask?
I don't have 9 gold.
Remember, patience, discipline.
We'll have to get one of those later.
Speak quickly.
I don't know. Like I didn't read Lord of the Rings the books. I don't think I ever read them all the way through. Like I've read The Hobbit like 4 times. So I can't really answer that question very well because my biggest knowledge of Lord of the Rings actually comes from the movies. But if you were to ask me my favorite character is Bilbo Baggins. I just think Bilbo's by far my favorite character. But he doesn't really appear in Lord of the Rings that much. But I've always loved Bilbo. I also would say Galadriel. I mean, I love Galadriel, so I think Galadriel's great. So
Farewell.
What do you require? Trust no one.
oh, we did get the horse. He just threw it in my bag. I thought maybe because the night elves they give you a mount. So I was like looking for a mount, but it was in my bag. So here you go. Now we can get the more undead themed. There you go.
Strength and honor. May your blades never
Now we feel more like, I like how she kind of stooped over the, like kind of stooped over the mouth. The mouth, that looks really good. I did what? Yeah, I watched The Rings of Power. It was stupid. Yeah, The Rings of Power was really dumb. Yeah, I did not like it. Good theme song though. Yeah, the Harfoots. I know, that's so ridiculous. I know. My favorite. I still like. I really love the. I really love Terry Brooks a lot, even though like people will say that like the Sword Snare is a ripoff of Lord of the Rings, and it really is. To be honest, it is. But I love. I love Terry Brooks. Like,
Dark Lady, watch over you. I haven't got all day.
why can't I? You liked, yeah, Dragonlance. I mean, The Sword of Snare was written in 1976, so I wouldn't call that modern fantasy. I really haven't read much modern fantasy. I mean, I do have a book in my office here that I purchased, but there was one book that I was reading. I think it was kind of interesting, and I think it was by Brandon Sanderson. You know, the guy who kind of finished the Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time is my favorite, probably my favorite. The Wheel of Time is probably my favorite fantasy series. I mean, really, that and the Sword of Snare, the Sons of Snare, I really like those. Also, The Sword and the Chain was an interesting book, and the the Tales of Thomas Covenant, are fantastic novels as well. But let's see, Brandon Sanderson novels. What was it? I think it was Mistborn. Yeah, Mistborn. Mistborn was interesting. I actually know a really good book. This one here, Mistborn. I was reading this one, and it was pretty. It was decent. It was decent. It wasn't great. I would say it's decent. What's better than that is Rhapsody. Really, really liked the Rhapsody novel by, what's the author? By Elizabeth Hayden. Let's see. Yeah, this book here. Yeah, only gets a 4.6 star, but I mean this book is really really good. Yeah. Yeah, the Mistborn I said was so-so. Was like so-so, but yeah, if you want a really interesting fantasy novel, um, try reading this one by Elizabeth Hayden. You know, I highly recommend that. But the main character is a female, so if you're not into female leads, maybe you wouldn't like it. I don't know. I'm hungry. I don't think I really ate dinner. Oh, no, I did. I had some mac and cheese. All right, so let's take some of these green items, and we're going to, I guess, hold on to some of these. Definitely want to hold on to our ore. And that's good.
The town still burns. A cleansing fire. Time is short. I'll soon retire.
Peanut butter sandwich. I don't even know what I have, and I don't have a lot of stuff that's easy to, that's like easy to eat. Most stuff I have to make something. Well, I mean, I could make a sandwich or something, but it's too late to be eating. Or too early, I guess. 2:30 in the morning.
My flames have died. Left not a spark. I shall send you myself to the lifeless dark.
Divine protection. Just wanted to... There's something in here. Well, there was something here I wanted to throw in my bank, and I can't remember what it was. We can throw these things in here. Oh, what's this?
What is it?
Prepare yourself.
So many quests here. Brill has a ton of quests. I still haven't gotten that Mystic Enchant for my melee hunter. Fall stay the chains, the glaive chains. I still haven't gotten that, and I've tried, man. I'm down to only like 2,300. Oh shit. See, so I can shoot. I can do damage at range, but I don't really want to. You know what I mean? But I can. Like right there, I was forced to by that hunter to like just shoot arrows. You know. And again, every time I mount up, the game just freezes. All right, the game just like freezes. But outside of that, the game's actually been running pretty good. Bronzebeard, I haven't really had any like latency in the game really. Outside of just when I mount up for some reason. This person's name is PvP Hunter LOL. It's like, okay. Oh, come on. Well, I'm rusty. I'm like jumping the wrong direction, hitting the wrong keys, not targeting people. That's what happens when I don't play the hunter for like a day. Look at this mount. What the heck is... Look at that mount. I've never seen that mount before. Did you see that? That mount was kind of cool looking. That was kind of a cool looking mount. There you go, here's another paladin. Who is shooting my... Oh, I guess it's not my pet. Wait, something's not right. Like, that person looked like they were shooting me, but they were like... That was weird. I'm not sure what that was all about. It was this PV Hunter LOL. Oh, and then they rooted me. Oh no. Is it a Shadowland mount? Cool. Alright, let's see if we can do some damage here. I'm kind of just dicking around, but we need to start. That was a bad place to engage. Obviously, it was a lot of the enemy and very, you know, there weren't too many of us in that fight, let's just put it that way. But he just wants to get his pet killed, right? Watch this. Yeah, it's like he's not healing his pet, and his pet's really low on health. Stupid jump. Yeah, see, we started to do some damage there. Little bit of damage. I wonder where my team is. Where's my team? Oh. You can see we're slowly climbing up the damage meter. Ah, there's that fear I was talking about, Valstay, where if I was undead, I just would immediately erase Shalai right out of that. Oh, yeah, ice blocked. Yeah, ice blocked. 3, 2, 1. Boom, boom, boom. Dead. Why are you running, bro? Why are you running? Oh, I was just about to kill him. Somehow I didn't have my aspect up either in the middle of that fight. I did at the beginning, but not in the middle. Sometimes when I'm switching aspects, I'll end up with no aspect, and I don't really know how that happens, so that's something that's annoying. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I can't dismount. That was weird. I couldn't like dismount. Okay, I guess I'm lagging. I guess I'm lagging hard because I can't do anything. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I was lagging there because I was like trying to attack and I wouldn't get off my mount, so there was some sort of weird ass lag right there. Yeah, look at my latency, 225. Yes, Bronzebeard rears its ugly head once again. You can always just look in here and see in the newcomer chat. You'll see people go, "Oh my god, lag." Okay, looks like the spike may be dropping. Yeah, let's just blow by these guys. Help this guy take out this this rogue or priest, I guess it is. Right through the shield too. Yeah. More lag. You see that there was some lag there too. Wow, what is this? The Challenger's Plate War Boots? Where the hell did I get that from? Look at those things. So really, the biggest thing for me is I have to get my immolation trap on the target. So trap launcher might be something we might want to invest in, but I don't know. If I go with trap launcher, then we're gonna have to probably lose out on one of these other things, which, I mean, I guess we could dump this one, but I don't really want to. We could fix Melee Hunter and make it better in PvP. It would take a couple shifting of the type of glyphs that are available. Like instead of them being like epic, they would make them blue, like a blue glyph. Then we're gonna root this person. Boom. Now they're pretty much dead. Yeah, pretty much dead at that point. But so he's got a spider too. Spiders are good. But specifically for me, they're good because I need to root people in place so that I can get my trap on them. That's the reason why I use the spider. It's PvP. I mean, you look at that his name is PvP Hunter LOL, and I killed him so badly. I only took like a tiny bit of damage. His name doesn't seem to represent his quality of play as a hunter, right? You may want to try a different profession. Stick to PvE, maybe. What's this guy doing? Oh man, I had her dead until she feared me. Oh, she died anyway to my bleed, I guess, my serpent sting. Ooh, bada bing, bada boom. Oh no. Well, thank you for the heal. Look at that. #1 on killing blows, but only #3 on damage, though. We are still level 44. I would imagine by the time I hit like 48 or 49, I should be topping DPS in these battlegrounds. I hope, right? I hope. Ah. Oh no, I got too many people on me. I can't get too many people. I knew that was a bad time to engage, but I just was like, fuck it. I wanted to kill somebody. But that was a bad time to go in there and fight. Yeah, the problem I see with the warlocks is their damage is, they do a lot of damage, but it doesn't come out fast enough. Like I've 1v1'd warlocks and killed them, and they were like higher level than me too, and I was just like, it's not like a retail warlock where the damage comes much. Well, here's a well shit, we got two. I don't really want to fight a warlock and a shaman. Yeah, this is not gonna be good. Alright. Okay, well, I had taken too much damage already. I had taken too much damage. But yeah, the burst isn't really there for the melee hunter. It's kind of a slow burn that really requires you to get your immolation trap up. That was a beautiful disengage, if I don't say so myself. That was perfect. That was a beautiful disengage that landed me right on top of that hunter. I need to clip that one out and just show you guys the art of the disengage. Because that one was picture perfect. So you can just sit back and be a ranged hunter and do, like, you know, do some damage, not like a ton. Just like a little. He's gonna die. Yeah, he died to my pet. I was a long way from my pet to run, he still killed him. I'm doing okay. I should be in bed, though, to be honest. And some people are like, you can see so many people are like struggling. Look at these guys lag. People are lagging out left and right, you know? One thing that sucks about disengage is sometimes when you land, you do this kind of like hard land where your character can't move for like a split second, and it's really annoying. Must be the addiction, yeah. And it's really annoying. Like you'll land on the ground and you kind of like have to do like a double take before you can actually move. So. Yes, too much range damage dealers beating on me. Hey, I'm number 1 on killing blows. I'm tied with the other hunter. What, are you gonna come out there? Oh, the only reason he killed me is because I couldn't get on him. I couldn't get on him. If I just could have got on him, I would have killed him. His ability to kite me. That's the weakness of the melee hunters. If you get kited, it can go bad pretty quickly. Like I was able to do range damage to him, but I can't out DPS him because I think he was elemental. I think it was like an elemental shaman. I didn't have my turtle up either. If I had my turtle up, I probably would have got him. Yeah. Turtle's pretty much a must-have for melee hunter. I don't think you could really survive without it. Too many enemies. Too many enemies. We're actually winning. I don't know when we kept the flag, but we did. There's that bungus. The bungus among us. Somebody just got fed up and decided to start running the flag. No trinket. No trinket. Come on, I can't feed out. Can't feed my pet when I'm in combat, apparently. That poor hunter. That guy named his hunter PvP hunter LOL, and he's like terrible. He's terrible at PvP. If you're gonna put PvP in your character name, you should at least be decent at PvP. It's like, guy sucks. There's that shaman bungus. The bungus among us. Alright, here we go. Just looking for someone. I guess we'll go for this shit. Let's go for the hunter. Okay, we're screwed here a little bit. Well, we're big time screwed. Somebody healed me, otherwise I would have been screwed. Well, the problem is I don't know how much we could get in our build, you know? I'm not sure how much we could really get in the build. Like, there's that, I think that lava burst that Volstate was talking about, maybe. You know? Here's this jabroni. He's gonna run away though. I want to kill this bungus among us, but he keeps running. Yeah, he's gonna run away. Let's see if we can. It's just too many. Yeah, good game. I mean, yeah, you would have to. Well, you got to keep in mind there's still a lot of talents that are going to come into the build. You know, we still have a lot of stuff that's going to happen from now until level 60. Well, I guess not that much. We get 16 more talent points. So 2 here. We're going to put some talent points. We're going to be, obviously, we got 5 here. That's 7. 1 here. That's 8. Probably grab Wyvern Sting. 9. We still need TNT. So 9, 10, 11, 12. And then Hunting for Sport we need. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have to respec just to reset our talents, because we're going to go into BM and we're going to replace both of these with glyphs. I know they're called Missing Enchants. I'm calling them glyphs, and I'm going to continue to call them glyphs. We're going to replace both of these with glyphs that will require that we don't need to use those talent points. So that will be slots like this slot here 45 and this slot here 50. These two are going to be taken up by glyphs that are going to basically recoup those talent points. These talent points. So we're going to get 8 more, and those 8 are going to be going probably into survival. So we're not really going to have a lot in BM, although we could, because our pet doesn't really die. Like, my pet never dies, so it's not like we need to make my pet have more armor. But we could go into like Unleash Fury. I mean, you bring a good point, JR. And the thing I wonder is if, here's a question I don't know the answer to, is if we have a glyph that gives us endurance training, I don't think that counts for 5 points in the tree. And what I'm saying is, notice how here we have to put 2 more points into this tree before we can go and get Unleashed Fury, right? Does the glyphs... I don't think the glyphs are going to count. So probably what we would want to do is get a glyph. So we just want to glyph these abilities directly, like glyph Unleashed Fury, or maybe glyph Ferocity. I don't know if I have those. Let me see if I've got those. Right here. So we've got Ferocity, right? Yeah, they don't. So we could use the glyph of Ferocity here, which is going to give my pet 10% crit. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 glyphs, right? And the good thing is most of these blue glyphs aren't really going to be good for melee. They're not going to be good for me, but a lot of these are going to be good for my pet, right? So we could do Ferocity, endurance training, unleashed fury. What else is there? Improved stings is one I've thought about. Increases the damage done by your serpent sting and wyvern sting by 30%, and the mana drained by your viper sting by 30%. In addition, reduces the chance your stings are dispelled. Having the viper sting increase the mana drain by 30% could be pretty useful. You know, that could be pretty useful. You know, you see a shaman, for example, and he's at like 30% mana, and you're going in to fight him instead of like hitting him with like serpent sting, just hit him with viper sting, because it might take away all his mana. And then, you know, a shaman without mana, and any caster class without mana is, you know, they can't do a whole lot. So there's also this one here. Increases the attack power bonus of aspect of the beast for you and your pet by an additional 2%. Right now, I think it's like, because I run aspect of the beast when I'm fighting people. I'm in aspect of the beast. It basically increases the melee attack power for me and my pet by 10%. So we could, that other glyph would push it to 2 more percent, but I don't think that's really worth it. So I think 2% doesn't seem like a lot. This is one that we might want. Might want to do aspect mastery, because that way, well, but see, that combines monkey and hawk, which what I really want is an aspect that combines beast, and monkey. That's what I want. I want one that combines beast and monkey. So this one kind of sucks. And again, I think that's, to me, that's a shortcoming of the people who worked on this game. To me, if you're going to make a melee hunter build, these are the things that are misses. This is a miss. Like, there should be an aspect mastery that's specific to beast and monkey. That way, as a melee class, you're getting that dodge bonus, which is really going to help you versus melee classes, and you're getting that increased attack power, which is going to help you against everybody, right? So that's, to me, that's just a miss, you know. But I think the ones that are worth considering, I mean, obviously Glyph of Explosive, increase the critical set chance for Explosive Shot. This could be a good one. Aspect Mastery, not really good. So really, out of these here, I think really just Explosive Shot is the only one, right? And then out of here, the one that I would think about using would be Ferocity, probably Ferocity and Unleashed Fury. These would just increase my pet damage by a ton, right? And I think there's probably some ones that I'm missing too. I don't have all the enchantments, right? I mean, you could glyph aim shot. It'd be interesting if I glyphed aim shot, because that way it's going to reduce the healing, right? Like if I'm like fighting a priest or somebody who's like a healer, I could hit him with aim shot before I go in and start beating on him. You know, it would help get him down. Yeah, really, it's just Ferocity, Unleashed Fury, and Explosive Shot. I mean, that's only 3, and we have 5 slots left. So, but I think 3 of them would be those 3. And then we're still missing one enchant that I want to get that I haven't been able to get. And you can see I'm already capped on honor. That's 75,000. I can't even get any more honor at this point. Oh. Oh, I didn't know they had this here. This is cool. The other thing we could do is there's this weapon here which hits a ton. It's a 3.9 attack speed weapon. But here, we could try doing this battleground with this just for fun. Because it does hit like really, really hard. But the problem is it's if you miss it, then you completely lose the value of it. Like if it misses even once during like an encounter, it kinda screws you a little bit. But if you get a couple crits with this two-head weapon, it's gonna hit really hard. Oh shit. But you said there were some pretty big hits there. But the reason I don't like, another reason I don't really like using that weapon is we're missing out on my resilience, because these weapons have resilience on them. And they have stats on them. So I'm getting like 8, I'm getting 4 stamina here, 4 stamina here. I'm getting strength, agility, and I'm getting some resilience. So even though I'm not getting the big crit that I would get with a two-hand weapon, I'm getting a little bit more survivability. Looks like we're going to win this one. $120,000 runes of Ascension. Ooh, Eye of the Storm. I like Eye of the Storm. And we are winning. Man, this could be 3 wins in a row. So much for Alliance playing poorly in BGs. Oh, that's not really Alliance. I mean, it's mixed match. You never know what you're going to get. So it doesn't really matter what side you're on. I was like complaining that I have an Alliance character and I kept getting these bad battlegrounds, but it really shouldn't matter what race you are because you have mixed. Your team is mixed. It's woke battlegrounds because it's mixed. Everything's mixed. Okay, this is nice. I love getting to battleground and winning. Oh, we hit the next level too. I love getting into battleground and like winning it in like 2 seconds. Alright, what do we get? We got quick shot, which I don't even use, and all this other stuff, which I don't even use. We did get a pet ability. Now, pet abilities, the last one I used was mobility, which reduced the cooldown of my dash. There is Owl's Focus. You have a chance after using the ability that the next ability will cost no focus. There's also Cornered, which when your pet has less than 3% health, this just makes them more tanky. And then, of course, there's Great Stamina. I actually like the mobility. And your pet's Claw. And then there's... Yeah, so Cornered, Owl's Focus. Let's pick up Owl's Focus. And we can go 1% crit. Or we can go to increase our expertise by even more and increase our pierce armor by more. Which one should we go? Should we go for the armor piercing and the expertise, or should we go for just the flat crit rating? I mean, they're both good. I'm going to go with this one because I want to get down to this one. Okay. We are now and we're level 45. Let me leave the queue. We're level 45. So this is good because guess what? Now we can slot another glyph. So what we need to do is we need to go here and we need to look at our tree here and we need to take a screenshot because we need to reset the tree, right? We need to reset our tree because you can't, let's see, you cannot, I'm not sure how easy this is going to be to do. I want to reset this. Can you reset, this says all set all towns. Can you reset like one? Can you reset, cancel, swap, here, unlearn? Unlearn? Save changes? It'll cost that, okay. So now oh, I didn't really want to unlearn all of those. That's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to do endurance training with our glyph. Okay. So we're going to go rare, endurance training, and then we got to go here. And let's see. We be glyphing, exactly. And now we're going to go into here. And we're going to go, again, rare, endurance training. You do not have enough talent points in the required spec. Requires 30 marksmanship with what? What? Okay, I'm a little confused by this. I'm just trying to put endurance training in, and it's not. What level? I'm level 45. Oh, and my pet now is getting wants higher level food as well. Okay, well, how many I got? 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 8, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 30. Oh, I have 30 in here. Okay, I'm a little confused by this. Requires... You don't have enough talent points in the required spec to use this enchant. I don't get that. What does that mean? Requires 30 marksmanship or survival. I have 30 survival. I 100% have 30 survival points. You know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, never mind, I don't. Okay. All right, we can fix that. So let's go here. We didn't. I guess I couldn't add. So 5, right, 5 here. We got 5 here. So that's 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We just need to put one more point in here. So let's go ahead and put it in crit. Now we should be able to do it. Okay, so now we should go back here and we should have 6 points left. So now we can go here and we can do... Oh, I fucked that up. I screwed that up. I should have done survival and then done... That's fine. We're going to lose out on thick hide. All right? So my pet's going to have a lot fewer armor. I screwed up. I kind of screwed that. We could remove... Yeah, because what I should have done was I should have put 5 points here, then glyphed this. You know, then I would have had those points there. Then I could have just glyphed that. Because I can't put the 5 points here now. Because I need 5 points to get to that level. So I totally screwed up. We could try... Let's try to see if we can just unglyph this one, right? So we want... Yeah, so we could still do it. We could put, but we'd only end up getting 1 talent point then. So we'd have to put 5 here. And then we'd end up with 1 additional talent point we could add in here somewhere. Or we could just forgo my pet's armor. You know what I mean? And just let them be like weak. Yeah, we'll try that. Let's try forgoing the pet armor. And we'll go with increase the damage done by your switch shot, like your animation shot by 2%. Agility. How much agility do I even have? Wyvern Sting could be kind of useful. Let's grab Wyvern Sting. And I want to look at my amount of agility. 154 agility. 154 agility, so we're looking at 10% of that would be 15. So it's not a lot. You're going to get like 17, 18 agility when you get 5. It's not really a ton. Use your 50% chance to regain 4% of the mana cost of any shot when it critically hits. That could be useful. We could also, if we really wanted to, we could grab Scatter Shot. Then we'd have multiple interrupts and CCs. Short range deal leaves 50% damage and just runs start for 4 seconds. I think Trap Launcher. I think we got Trap Launcher. Do I add Trap Launcher? Is yeah, but see, it's an epic. If we replace this one, let's see. Now we need this one. This is what makes my Mongoose Bite. This gives me so much more damage. Yeah, see, Trap Launcher, we can't do it, man. This is the problem with the melee hunter. Is there's certain things that you really need. Like you need Trap Launcher should be blue. Like for melee hunter, Trap Launcher needs to be a blue one. This one here, Defense of the Turtle, should be blue. Straight up should be blue. All base melee hunters should have this because without it, you're just toast. Like you have to have that. So to have that as the artifact, I disagree with that. I think a melee hunter should have the ability to have Defense of the Turtle and Binding Shot. They should have at least 2 of these 3, and to have that, one of them is going to have to be not an artifact. You can't make it a legendary because it's just too big a deal. So yeah, I would move this to blue. I would move Trap Launcher to blue. That way the build would be, you'd have Trap Launcher, because you need Trap Launcher to land your Immolation Trap. You need Trap Launcher to land your Freezing Trap. To couple that with your Scatter Shot. So, and I would only do it for melee hunter. Like I would make, like I wouldn't allow like every hunter to, like Trap Launcher, I think if you're a melee hunter spec, I think it should be blue. And I think if you are like a BM and marksman, I would make it epic. I just think that some of those things have to be changed to make melee more viable. So that's just my personal opinion. But if we go back to the talents again, do we want to reset this? Yeah. My thing's already gone, so I can't even fix the glyph thing at this point, so we're kind of screwed on that. So I think my pet's just going to have to go for a little while without any armor, which he's probably going to get his ass whooped. But, he doesn't hardly ever die. I don't think people really focus him that much, but they may focus him now if he's like really squishy. So I don't know. We don't even have deflection. Still, it's reduce duration of movement and pairing effects. I don't think we need Scatter Shot. Scatter Shot is more short range. I mean, it's useful, but I don't know. I don't really think I need both. I don't think I need Scatter Shot. What's the cooldown? 30 second, 1 minute. Oh shit, look at this. Reduces the mana cost of all traps, melee abilities, and Black Arrow, and reduces the cooldown. Oh shit, no, we should get this. Look at this. Reduce the mana cost of all traps, melee abilities, a Black Arrow, and reduce the cooldown of all traps. Yeah, I forgot about this. We need this. This is huge. So let's grab that, and then let's grab that, this, and then increase damage of your melee abilities targets under 3% health, and we're going to grab this. Okay, now we do have Wyvern Sting, so we're going to need a keybind for a while. I'm running out of keybinds here. Wyvern Sting. What's a key we're not using? That's easy to do while moving. Well, I'll do it on the key that I know is available. I just don't like it. Yeah, I mean, we could even use wipers. I mean, Wyvern Sting is also another thing that could set up our traps. So now we have two different ways, and actually scatter too. So we could get scatter shot. So with scatter shot, Wyvern Sting, and my pet's ability to web people, that gives us 3 ways to immobilize people long enough for me to walk up and drop my trap at their feet. The trap needs to be able to be landed. You know what I mean? But we do have an issue with mana, so it's nice that we were able to reduce the mana of our abilities by significantly, especially our melee abilities. You know? Look at that. Wyvern Sting paid dividends already because we Wyvern stung the Paladin there, and he was stuck. He couldn't do anything. He was stuck. So comes in handy. We got the good old Boomkin here, just spamming his stupid Moonfire. We're gonna get sandwiched between those 6 players. But we got some reinforcements coming. Alright, let's go. Let's go up the hill, dude. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on, people. Up the hill, up the hill, up the hill. Hey, Kabupa. Yeah, I level mostly entirely via Battlegrounds, pretty much. Oh, we get the Shaman. Damn. Yeah. Holy shit. He was. Yeah. I didn't have the burst. I didn't have enough bursts to kill Bungus, the Bungus Among Us. He's the guy who killed me in the last battleground that I didn't care for. I don't know if he's a healer, if he's resto, or if he's. I think he might just be a healer. But shamans are like so ridiculously overpowered. Like, hey, Kapupa, Volstay was saying that at level 60, there was a shaman in his battleground that was 13k critting people. Like, critting people for 13k. Which is, like, ridiculously insane, right? Your daddy. No, yeah, but dude, people are in full PvP gear. Yeah, when keep in mind, dude, keep in mind people have like 4K health, right? You know, I mean, think about it. Like you're running around there with like 4K health. Look at that, I'm number 2 on damage. 4K health, and you get hit for 13K. That's more than double what your health pool is. That's just ridiculous. Yeah, so you're doing PvE though. Like I think the melee hunter probably is really good in PvE, but in PvP right now, it's. I mean, you can see I can do damage. I mean, I was number 2 on damage there a second ago. Now I'm number 3, but you know, I can do damage as melee hunter, but a lot of the problems is, you know, you have issues with survivability. What's my power at? 467, crit 10-7. I don't know. You have some issues. Let's just put it to you that way. I don't think there's too many people playing melee hunter in PvP though. I haven't seen anybody. Like I'm one of the only melee hunters I've seen. I mean, I think Vol said he saw one. You know. Oh shit. Their whole team just spawned right behind me. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. I actually hit the cap lock ski, yeah. The melee hunter needs... You need, like... You need better survivability, right? You need way better survivability. You need more burst. The burst isn't high enough, right? So your burst isn't there. So you need more burst. You need... I mean, the glyphs are what really screw you. Like this is like right, like Defense of the Turtle shouldn't be an artifact. It should be a blue. You need to be able to have binding shot and binding shot and Defense of the Turtle. Both of these. In fact, I think you should have all 3. I think all 3 of these should be there for melee hunter. I think you kind of need all of those because you need the survivability. You need to be able to root people. You need to be able to get away. And since your damage is melee, and you got to engage, so it's gonna do this kind of in-out playstyle, which is good. That's what you want. You want to be able to go in, do damage, but then be able to get out because you've got to avoid damage. And the only way to avoid damage is to get the fuck out. You can't stay in there with these shamans that are critting for 13k. That you just can't. So you have to have the ability to avoid that damage. So. No, but I'm saying specific. I think it should be specific to melee hunter. I think the tree should be different for melee hunter. I think melee hunter should and you weren't here. I guess you weren't here in the stream. I just said a minute ago. I think that only for melee hunter, these should be different. Only for melee hunter, because you can't do it for all, because it would screw up the balance, the power balance. And that's why, and they probably would never do that, because they don't ever want to make them specific, I don't think, right? But I'm just saying that's one of the easy ways to fix the melee hunter would be to give them those 3 artifacts, because that way you've got a lot more survivability, a lot more mobility. You know, just make things better. I don't know. I'm done here. So there's that. Like that's one easy way to fix them, is these things would give you like much needed survivability, right? The other way to fix it was you'd have to somehow really spike their damage. Like you'd have to really spike their damage a lot. Like the other way to fix them obviously is to leave their survivability the way it is, but to increase their output damage, which is probably the way they would probably go, because they don't want to, like you said, you don't want to change those to non-artifacts just for the hunter, because then all the hunters would have this crazy like stuff. But I don't know. They're not playing Deadly Bite. What are they playing? I'm using Deadly Bite just because it's the only thing that really kind of increases the damage of my actual melee abilities. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to be hitting people with melee abilities, the only thing that really is kind of increasing that, right, is Deadly Bite. Oh, he got healed. He was so dead. Like he was like so dead there, you know? Oh, he was so dead too. One more second and he was dead. But again, right there's an example of, you give me a little bit more burst, and I would have killed 2 players right there. I would have killed both those hunters in that situation if I just had a little bit more burst, you know? And you can see my damage is like, it's not bad, but it's not good. I mean, I'm down here, you know. And the Warlock's doing 40,000, this shot, the Paladin 30,000. I don't even know what this is. What, a Druid? Shadow Priest. And then Bungus. I don't know if Bungus is a healer or what. I'm not sure what he is. He's got a weird build. He's doing tons of damage, but he's doing quite a bit of healing too. So when you say they're not playing Deadly Bite, Kaboop, are you saying that they're doing something that's better than Deadly Bite? I don't really know what you mean. Are you saying that they're playing Melee Hunter wrong? Or you're saying they're just playing a different build that works better for them in PvE? You know? It's a dungeon build. It's a melee way of playing Explosive Shot. I mean, to go for burst, one of the ways you could go would be to go with a big 2-hand weapon, you know? Would be to swap out my dual wields and go with like a really big hitting 2-hand weapon, but I don't know. I mean, I mean, explosive shot's going to be interesting because explosive shot could really make. I don't know what's the range on it. Is it? Can I cast explosive shot when I'm like right in front of somebody? If explosive shot can be cast like from any distance, that could be huge, right? Because it does hit hard. Well, not really. You know, I think we've disagreed on this before, Kaboop. I've never been a fan of two-hand weapons. The two-hand weapon, you go into a fight with I've got a two-hand weapon in my bag. It's 3.9 attack speed. If I go into a fight and I miss just once, if one of those swings misses, that's 3.9 seconds of no damage. That is an eternity. So yeah, I'm not a fan of two-hand weapons. They are good, and I've tested out two-hand weapon many times versus dual wield, and generally they don't do much more damage. They can be more bursty, and if you just happen to land every swing, then yeah, they're going to probably do more damage. But if you miss even just one or two, so it's really based on your hit rating. You know, if you've got good hit rating, then yeah, it's going to be good. But so this is an epic enchant. You fire explosive shot at the enemy. The charge will blast every second. Usable while in melee range. Yeah, see, that's what you want. Usable while in melee range. Explosive shot charged up, so it's like a... Yeah, so... And that's an epic enchant. I don't think I have that one. I do not. I wonder if that's found in the world somewhere. Yeah, but again, I can't really. If I ran that one, I've got to get rid of some of these other ones. I probably would dump Glaive Toss. Glaive is decent, but the reason I have Glaive is because I was actually going to get a different Glaive to go with it. But yeah, the Glaive doesn't work because there's another one here. Look, not collected. There's another Glaive. This one here. It says your Glaive Toss chains to an additional 2 yards. In addition, using Glaive Toss on an enemy affected by your deadly bite slows the target. But the problem is, again, it's just another example. It's like you have to have both of these, and then you're going to lose out. So it's not good. So basically we'll replace this one with the Explosive Shot. Glaive Toss will be replaced with Explosive Shot. And yeah. And that could be good. Here, let's try one more. And then I got to go to bed. Oh, never mind. He's going to be dead before I even get there, and it's going to be 3 versus me, so that's not going to work. That was a bad disengage. Wow, I don't know what happened there. Like, I guess the dots, but holy shit. I don't know if it was the dots or what, but man, I took a serious amount of damage off the quick tear. And the combat log is shit. Because it's showing, I just want to see what happened to me. Yeah, the combat, I don't know what the deal is with the combat log on here, but it's just garbage. You can never get the information in the combat log you want to see. It doesn't like show like what you really want looking for. Damn. Yeah, dead once again. Yeah. Any kind of class that has any kind of control, like the melee hunter is going to struggle against any control. Like right there, the lock rooted me, and then he like stunned me with like the dragon roar. Well, that feels like more like, it's like, isn't it like a mage ability? How does a lock have like a dragon roar? Anyways, but any class that has any kind of root and then CC, you're pretty much screwed because you can trinket one, but then you're just gonna get knocked right into the other, right? So if you can't get on the target, you're gonna struggle. You know, you're gonna struggle. Ah, I can't. Oh, you bastard. Hmm. But yeah, we could try doing the two-hand weapon, but it won't let me do it while I'm in. It won't let you change gear while you're in a battleground, which I think is stupid, but. That guy died awfully quick. How did... Okay, he did get it good. And I was going to say, how did he get out of my trap? But... Yeah, nothing I can do here. Yeah, nothing I can do there. How much damage does my trap do? It's only 473, which really isn't that much. Tell you one thing, since I talented into resourcefulness, I definitely am not having as many mana issues as I was having. So that's a really good thing. That definitely the resourcefulness has been quite nice. I can't do anything against this guy. Fear. Fear. Look at that fear. Look at that. No damage, right? No damage. Like Shadow Priest. There's just another example of why Melee Hunter is gonna suck. Like no burst. I couldn't hit through. I can't even hit through like a priest shield. Priest just like shields himself, throws up like a renew, and I can't even hardly burst through that. That's just fucking sad. That is so sad. Come on. Look at this fear. Fear. I was like CC'd the whole time. All I was trying to do was do kill shot on the fucking rogue to kill him, and I couldn't do it. It was like fear, fear. I mean, what was that shit? That was like ridiculous. So watch this. Oh, not this. This is just me getting destroyed by a priest. I'm going to try to kill this rogue. Right? Serpent. I don't know why I didn't get Serpent Sting off. I don't know why I didn't shoot Serpent Sting there. That was weird. Okay. We've got our Immolation Trap down. Okay, I'm just got kill shot up, getting ready to try to finish him off. And then I get disarmed. And I get feared. So I'm feared, disarmed. And so now I can't get off the, and now I'm like, you know, I can't do my kill shot because I don't have a weapon. And I think that, so that's what happened. That's what I didn't understand is I was trying to do the kill shot and it wasn't going off. And I was like, what's happening here? But that's what it was. I was still disarmed. Look at that. And the disarm, look how long it is. This still has another 5 seconds. Now we can, and then of course he gets healed and I'm still disarmed. So see, look, still disarmed, still disarmed, still disarmed. And at the very end. So that disarm is like ridiculously long. And you can combat that a little bit by going into here. No, actually not here. It's where is it? It's in here somewhere. It's right here. You can reduce the duration of all disarm effects against you by, it looks like it's going to be almost 50%. You know, because you're talking, yeah, it's going to be like 32, 40, 48. Yeah, like almost 50%, which could be useful. To be honest, that could be very useful. Oh, you didn't disarm me that time. So yeah, so you can definitely see that we would need deflection. I would probably glyph that to save on the 3 talent points. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, you'd want to glyph ones that are like more than 3 talent points, but fortunately, the way these trees are set up, like you can glyph endurance training, which I've already done. And then, see, I've got glyph endurance training currently. We get 4 more glyphs, so that gives us some options. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I can't. That's just a no-win scenario. There's too many casters. Yeah. Like he's got 10,000 different dots on me. Look at that shit. Look at this, how much damage this is doing. I just wanted to let it tick because I want to see how much it is. Yeah. Still going. So his dots, like his, what's this misery? So just his 3 dots that he threw on me almost killed me. You know? Like just those 3 dots almost killed me. And those are the 2 that are doing the most damage, is the priest and the warlock. The bad part about her doing the time thing is it threw it back into my pet's root, my web. I'm charmed. That's alright, we'll just sit in it. He's gonna die anyway. Oh. Look at the range. Like, how close was he to put these dots on me? He was like fucking 10 miles. I was here and he was like way over there. You know, it's like, Jesus. You know, it's crazy. It's frustrating because the melee hunter, the potentials, it's like it's not that far off. I mean, there's definitely, you know. But anyways, I'm off to bed. We'll continue to level the Protection Paladin because the Protection Paladin, I mean, as hard as I try to get the melee hunter work, and it's very difficult, we can probably get the Protection Paladin up and just basically annihilate people. So I'll get you guys later, man. Peace out.